First class.
Top of the world.
Thank you. I have a real case scenario today. What I felt when about myself, knowing about myself, what I felt was little about myself. Whenever I'm taking a role, timer, accounter or a speaker, TM mode will used to call me 2 days before. Hey Imtiaz, how are you? And with a set of some questions. Then I go absolutely blank because I don't know completely about myself. So what makes you know yourself completely? Does it happen with you as well?
Yes.
Raise your hands.
Yes.
Thank you. You made my evening. You are on the same page where I was. Okay. So the thing is that what I wanted to emphasize here, who you are, it is decided by this situation. It's all about the situation, what makes you who you are. So as we go forward, you are in a situation where you need to exhibit the listening skills, and you also have to do it for others by maintaining a quieter environment. How do you do so? Take out your mobile phone, put it then to the silent mode, please. Give me thumbs up if it is done. Thank you. If you want to walk out or if you want to walk in, do so when you hear an applause. Good? So if you want to engage the best of yourself, then disengage from the argumental topics such as sex, politics and religion. Today we have a person who has figured it out, knowing herself at a younger age, exactly before her marriage. Her mom insists her to learn cook because it will help her after her marriage. Instead of learning cooking, she loved cooking, she loved the cook itself. She married to a chef. The thing is here, she doesn't stop here. She had a vision of selling her husband's signature dish or the product to the world. She is not running any restaurant. Let me clear that. The thing is, the product, her visionary product is something which is, when you fry it with deeper fry, it consumes or it drinks lesser oil. Isn't it amazing, the product? What do you think? Yes. Okay. Let us welcome the visionary president of today's meeting, Toastmaster Amrith Kaur.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
I call to order meeting number 1520. Okay, before we start, I can see a lot of guests here. May I request you to please stand up? Thank you. Members, how do we welcome our guests? May I request our current executive committee to please stand up? So if you have any questions, you can reach out to them either during the meeting or after the meeting. Thank you everyone, please take your seats. I would like to call our Secretary Toastmaster Abhinava to read out the minutes of meeting 1519.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I am incredibly excited. We had such a beautiful meeting last week. I was feeling awesome. I am pretty sure all of you enjoyed the meeting too, because The last week's meeting revolved around the beautiful theme of growth beginning when your perspective expands. The word of the day revolved around the meaning of illuminate, where it should make things clearer for you or make it easier for you to understand. The last week's meeting awardees are as follows, with the best speaker award going to Toastmaster Jacob Evan, the best evaluator award going to Toastmaster Puneet Surana, the best role taker award going to Toastmaster Vaidyanathan Duresami, the best auxiliary role taker award going to Toastmaster Mahesh Lokesh. But instead of having table topics, we had another exciting session, the debate session. 2 matches. The first match was between Team 1 and Team 3, with the winning award going to the Team 1, namely Mic Drop. The second match was between Team 2 and Team 4, where the winning team award went to Team 4, namely Illuminati. The attendance details are as follows, with the number of members being present being 38 and the number of guests being present being 18. And with this, I wish you all a beautiful evening ahead and a great weekend for you. Thank you.
The target changes. No. I pass minutes of meeting. Question for all of you.
Answer is yes.
Okay, you must hear the question first. Do you ever wake up in the morning saying to yourself that today I want to feel extremely stressful and irritating? No, right? Because we all want to feel happy, joyful, and peaceful. But most often than not, we react to the situations around us. When people don't behave the way we want them to, or when the things don't go the way we expect them to. And you know what? We are very, very generous people. Because whenever we feel negative or irritated, we like to spread it around. We spread it to our friends, to our family, and most importantly, to our spouses. As a kid, when I was growing up, I observed something really strange. I observed that some people who get angry or behave in a very strong manner, they get respected. So in my mind, respect is equal to anger. And soon I became extremely effective at it. But then one day, I got married. And those who are married know that after marriage, most of the things don't turn out the way you imagine it or you want it to be, right? Now, I could not take my shout at my in-laws, so the only person who is left to bear the brunt is my husband. But after some time, I started to feel sorry for him. You know, I felt this poor guy, like the only mistake he has done is he married me. Yeah? So I started looking for solutions to work on my anger. Initially, I found something that tells you to divert your attention. Whenever you have a bad mood, you are anxious, you either take a walk, you grab water, start sipping it slowly, you count 1 to 10 or in reverse, or you start reciting something. Well, initially it did work, but only at the surface level. Because inside, I was like a volcano, waiting to erupt. And that is when I discovered Vipassana. 10 days, no talking, no phone, just sitting by yourself and observing yourself. Now I must tell you that I did not pay even a single penny for it. because it's absolutely free of cost. But what I learned was priceless. I learned that whenever some negativity arises in us, two things change. One, our breath, and second, some change happens in our body. So our breath becomes either shallow or really fast. Or if you observe very closely, because it happens at a very, very subtle level, some sensations start to arise in our body. And if you look closely or you keep observing them, they slowly and steadily subside. So after 10 days when I came back, Pushkar, who happens to be my husband, he said that you have changed 180 degrees. And he got so curious, what is it that can transform my wife? So he also went for 10 days. There are three things that have changed because of Vipassana. Frequency, intensity, and duration. The frequency at which I used to get angry or upset, because it used to happen every other day. The intensity. Earlier it used to be like an outburst. Now it might be like a gentle shower. And finally, the duration. While earlier I would stay in bad mood for days at end, now sometimes I'm able to find that my mood is changing within a fraction of a second. And with that, I have been able to discern and understand myself and lead my life in a much, much better way. Now, I also know someone who has picked up another technique, which is journaling. She believes that every individual is unique and has their own strengths and weaknesses. And she has used journaling to figure out how her mind works and how her emotions, she expresses her emotions. She is someone who joined Bangalore Toastmasters Club in May 2024. And in these 2 years, she gives a huge credit to Toastmasters for transforming the way her creative writing skills, her communication, and her leadership skills. I personally admire her commitment and her strong mind. So a couple of weeks back, one prepared speaker had dropped out. And she took up the challenge of presenting the speech on Thursday afternoon. So afternoon, she finished her work. In the evening, came back, wrote her speech, sent it to her mentor. And on Friday, again, after finishing her work, she went back to his home and spent hours practicing her speech, came here and delivered it with calm and confidence. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the calm, the confident, and the ever-smiling jewel of our club, the Toastmaster of our day, Toastmaster Jewel Monsi. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. I can't repeat the introduction again, but I can repeat it, but she must be on her way. So, shall we? So we can, we can either wait for her or we can continue.
She'll continue.
We should continue, right? Okay, great. All right. So, alright, so somebody, as I just introduced Toastmaster Jewel, and I told you how impromptu she stepped in for the role of a prepared speaker. Today, somebody has offered her, and I would like to welcome again another person who is always smiling and stays calm and confident. Please join me in welcoming the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rashi Palgoda.
A very happy evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Happy evening.
Happy evening.
Thank you so much for the confidence. I don't know where this came from, but maybe seems like knowing yourself can actually help you lead yourself. And today would be the right example for it, because I was here 3 years back and I would have never imagined to be on this stage suddenly taking up such a huge role where you take up the entire meeting. So to begin with, the only thing I would like to say is I've had a lot of people support me, I've had a lot of people encourage me for things, and I know I've learned a lot of things on my way, but we do have our real TMOD for the day. And sorry that I couldn't be here for longer, but introducing our TMOD for today, Toastmaster 12.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So Oprah Winfrey, she started her career as a news anchor. Everything was perfect on paper. The prestige, the fame, everybody recognized her. But something went wrong. Because when she was reading out the news, she felt deeply with the news. And she started feeling so emotionally that expressions started coming on her face. Her bosses were not happy with this. They thought it was very unprofessional and she was fired from the job. Instead of taking this as a failure, she started retrospecting what went right and what went wrong. She understood that as a person, she connected deeply with people. She was empathetic, emotional, and she could not only think analytically, but also emotionally. And this was a weakness as a news anchor, because news anchoring required you to be emotionless. With this thought, she decided to change track, and she started as a talk show, which is called the Oprah Winfrey Talk Show. Her same behaviors, emotional connection, empathy, authentic reactions, all of this started acting as her strength in this field. And then she thrived as a talk show host. Today's theme is knowing yourself, leading yourself. Sometimes it's not the person who is wrong, it could be the place which is wrong. The realization Oprah had made her take the right choice in terms of career. Do you take some time to understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses? What drains you? What sparks joy? What kind of people do you want to spend time with? And what activities makes you alive? Have you ever thought, or do you spend some time thinking about it? Now a quick question from the audience, anyone can answer. What is something that you've learned about you recently that you didn't know before? Something about you, yourself, recently that you didn't know before? Raise of hands. Add chocolates for the people who answer, please.
Me?
Yeah.
I've learned to keep quiet and meditate.
Nice. Any other?
I have become more impatient as I age. I become more impatient. Not that I'm being.
Join me, I'll help you.
So I have chocolates there. So anyone else want to? Yeah.
Humor is a binding force. Humor is a binding force.
This is something I've learned about yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
You mean more humorous.
Chocolates.
Okay, so I have chocolates. So all these three will get that at the end of the meeting because you're already running late. Yeah. So with that, there was another person who had a great realization. He lived in Santa Ana, California in 1924. And what was his realization? That for young men to grow well, they need to be good at public speaking, communication skills, and leadership skills. Keeping them in mind, he created a safe, supportive space. And that's how the first Toastmaster Club was founded in Santa Ana, California. Who is this gentleman? Any guesses? Dr. Ralsei Smedley. Now, the Toastmasters Club also offers a similar platform in which you can understand your strengths and weaknesses. You can grow and play with your strengths as well as improve your weaknesses. Our Bangalore Toastmasters Club has been creating leaders since 1997, and this over the past 29 years. With this, I'll explain the structure of a typical Toastmasters meeting. There are 3 sections. The first section is the prepared speeches. In this section, speakers will come on the stage and they'll deliver their prepared speeches. The second section is table topics, in which the table topic master will call upon people randomly and he will give a topic, and they'll have to speak on the topic for 2 to 3 minutes. The third section is the evaluation section, in which this is led by the general evaluator and his team. So each speech will be evaluated by one evaluator, and apart from the speech evaluators, we have the tag team, and the timer, our counter, and the grammarian. The timer for today is someone who works as a senior lead designer at Tata LLC. I request Toastmaster Naveen to read out his work.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Today I am the timer for the day. My purpose, as a timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual parts. For today's meeting, the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, and at 5 minutes I'll be raising a green card. And 6 minutes I'll be raising an yellow card, and at 7 minutes I'll be raising a red card. And apart from that, the table topic speeches are from 1 to 2 minutes. For 1 minute I'll be raising the green card, 1.5 minutes I'll be raising the yellow card, and for 2 minutes I'll be raising the red card. At the end of the meeting, I'll be giving my report to General Evaluator and submit to the club secretary in order to become part of the permanent club. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen. Now, for our counter, we have someone who is working as a training director at Indian Montessori Center. I request Toastmaster Srinidhi to read out his work.
Toastmasters and the guests.
Good evening.
opportunity at the very second of my meeting. This is just my second meeting, and I'm glad at the Toastmasters Club to have the trust and given me an auxiliary role, the R counter. So I'm supposed to keep track of the filler words like and so, okay, and usage of the crutch words as well. So I'll be evaluating and submitting the reports to the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srinidhi. For grammarian, we have someone who runs a guest house and homestay. He's passionate about storytelling, books, and movies. And his favorite fictional character is Purple Poet. Please welcome Toastmaster Aranha to read out his role.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan, and I'll be your friendly grammar detective for today. I'll be listening carefully to all of you. I'll be noting all the good usages and not so good usages of the English language, all in an effort to help us all speak a little better and a little clearer. Today's word of the day is discern. It means to notice or understand something clearly, especially something that isn't obvious at first. For example, this usage in a sentence, even through his nervousness, I could discern his confidence. So as you speak today, try to discern opportunities to use this word, and I'll be here quietly taking notes. Very quietly. Back to you.
With this, we can go on to our first section of our Toastmasters meeting, which is the prepared speeches. The evaluator for the first speech is someone who works in DTDC and who is a great chef. I request the evaluator for the first speech, Toastmaster Nitish, to read out the speech guidelines.
The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Timer, please note the timings are 4 to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitish. The first speaker is attempting his icebreaker speech. As part of Toastmasters tradition, we give a standing ovation to the speaker after he delivers his icebreaker speech. So I request all the audience to give a standing ovation after the speaker is done with the speech. The first speaker works as a medical representative. He's passionate about marketing and he wants people to feel happy when they meet him. He's here with a speech title, Wrong Turn to Right Direction. Please put your hands together to welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Harish.
Good evening, PM IST, fellow Toastmasters, dear guest.
Good evening.
Good evening. Icebreaker speech. Definitely, this icebreaker speech, I'm going to get breakthrough in this Toastmasters Club. I'm having such knowledge. My name is Harish Kumar. I'm working as a medical representative. I was born in Putkur village, very near to Hindupuram hometown, from 13 kilometers. My father name is Subramaniam, my mother name is Veeresh J J. Both are like farmers. My father, due to some illness, last 5 years back he passed away. I am having like an elder brother and elder sister. They both got married and they settled in my hometown. I am from last 8 years in Bangalore. I was raised I was schooling. I did my schooling in my native only, Urdur, from first class to 10th standard. Whenever I recall that memories, I'm feeling very fond. So many memories from first to 10th in my native only. That is where the school is very just 50 meters away from my home. Whenever they give interval breakups those days, and I'm going my home and having some snacks and again coming back. Those days there is no snacks, just in pickles and peanuts cookery like. I mean, those days 1 rupees, 2 rupees also very difficult. Whenever recall those memories, I'm recollecting. And in school, I'm very average student. In maths also, I am not very good. That is my biggest fear those days. And now English is my fear. That's why I joined this Toastmasters. Definitely, I'm going to overcome this fear. In my village, there are 4 friends to me. They are my neighbors and they are my close classmates. Still, they are with me. Still, they are my best friends. Whenever I go my hometown, still whenever festivals, I meet them and we'll make some parties. We'll cherish all the memories till midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That thing. Because when I come to my teenage, I joined in Saptagiri College in my hometown. I taken a BIPS group. In 10th class, I got 416 marks. 416 marks, around 69%. That is my last achievement in my academics. After that, every year I failed 3 subjects, 4 subjects. If I keep that hard ticket, it will become a bundle. After that, I joined. I completed my BIPS group. I joined in a BCom. I don't know exactly what to do. Whatever I know I taken that group and I joined in some Bangalore degree college BCom. Again 3 subjects, 4 subjects will continue. 3 years degree I have completed in 4 years. Finally I completed. That subject fees also very difficult to arrange me. That's why I am working in small medical shops evening times. Monthly I used to get 300 like that. Those memories. Now I'm feeling feeling very happy like that. Those days very difficult to maintain these things. I'm very much interested to play cricket. I started with coconut bat. Those days bats was not the genda ball, 5 rupees genda ball and stumper ball, some balls are there. Entire day we used to play and there is no water for, I think we are going some some small in that lake, we are going, whatever water is there we are drinking now. Nowadays they are carrying water, but those days no water was like that. That is so many memories I have. Then those days, 2008, 2007, then only this TV Tata Sky came. I'm unconsciously I'm watching the TV9 and NTV, that news. Very much I attached news and that storyboards. I'm very much fond that journalism. I decided I want to become a journalist in 2008, 2009. Every time I'm reading the editor's page, I want to go in Telugu journalism day. One day definitely I'm going to big journalist, editor. So many dreams I have. That those days that they're giving bylines, their number and their name, whomever writing articles. I'm calling them, sir, I want to become a journalist, sir. I will come to Hyderabad, sir. Please guide me like that. I went to Hyderabad and I tried I went, one person called me. I tried to journalism also. I got one largest circulated Telugu newspaper. I got a diploma seat. They are giving stipend and all things. But within 2 years, I quitted that job. That is the biggest. That's why I given speech title wrong turn, from wrong direction to right turn. After that, I quit that job and 2 years I did that. But after really, I don't know what to do. Why? Because that much passion, I quit the 2 years. I'm really clueless. But after that, I tried IT backdoor entry, but I got a job, but I don't know what to do. In entire day, I'm sitting in the laptop. Oracle people, so many people, they are doing something. I don't know anything. Sitting. The director, small company came and beside sitting me, and she is watching. small doubts he asked me, I don't know this. That's why within a week I resigned and I came back. After that, I analyzed myself. I am like a little bit English. I am a little bit difficult, but in mother tongue I am very much social person. I am talking very well. So I decided to go marketing. That's why I joined in the marketing sales representative. Now I am 8 years completed. I am like quite doing good. In my mentor, my guru, best human being, Balasundaram Juval suggested to me, Harish, like you also, I did so much difficulty I faced during the initial days. So you can go and join Toastmasters. It will give lot of confidence to you. If I give monthly 50,000, 1 lakh, then sales also is happy. Harish, you are going Toastmasters or not? Sir, I am going, sir. That's why I am coming Toastmasters. That is it. But anyway, I am happy. I am having a lot of inspiration people, so many elder age people, youngsters. And whenever they are speaking, I am like inspiring. Awards I am not getting. They are getting Indian and Sir and Kotari Sir, some definitely I am going to get. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We go to the next speech. The evaluator for the second speech is an engineer by day and lawyer by night. His favorite fictional character is Mowgli from Jungle Book because he admires his fearless and adventurous spirit. I request Toastmaster Veeresh to read out the guidelines of the speech.
The purpose of the project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note, the time is 5 to 7 minutes and all the rest to the speaker.
The second speaker is someone who is an ML platform engineer working in medtech company. He is passionate about triathlon and he loves to follow stand-up comedy. He's come here with his speech titled, What's Your Choice? Please welcome our second speaker, Toastmaster Vineet Sharma.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Given a choice, good food or medicine, what would you choose? Good food, right? Yet, given the busy metro lifestyle, which we all are part of, we are unknowingly choosing medicine, just by choosing wrong food choices. Let me explain this with the help of example with my initial working days at Mumbai. Wake up and catch the metro, land up at office and have that vada pav. Mumbai special vada pav. Have your first meeting get done, get down to the streets and hit the cutting chai with bun muska and extra cheese. Lunchtime, Zomato or you go out, have that special thali with special oil simmering everywhere. Evening time, there would be one guy who would be like, Vineet, chal, let's have one more tea. Evening time, tea time, automatically Bombay special sandwich with extra mayonnaise and extra cheese would come in front of you. Night time, dinner time, again Swiggy Zomato. So that's how my lifestyle became for the next 2 years. Then one day, my roommate, who was also my teammate, he was like, hey, Vineet, chal, let's get full body checkup done. It's free from company and we get a leave as well. I was least interested in it. I'm like, I'm young, I don't need it, everything is fine. But that holiday, I can't miss it. To roam one extra day in Mumbai. So I went for full body checkup. 18 tests, making me run on treadmill, what not they made me do. And finally after 3 days, I got my report. And seeing my report, I was shocked. So many off numbers in my report at a young age. LDL, HDL and complex terms formed. So I went to my sister, who knows how to read these medical reports. So there is a saying in Hindi. I went with a hope to her. And that Hindi saying goes like, "Dukh baatne se ghatta hai." But my sister did the opposite. "Dukh baatne se aur badh gaya." She made my sorrow twice. She was like, "Tu Mumbai mein kya kar raha hai? What you are doing in Mumbai? Just resign and come back. You are ruining your body with bad food." Because 2 years down the line, I had those misal pav, vada pav, every category of pav I had. And finally, I became that 80 kg pav. I am extremely anxious after talking to my sister. No help. So I decided I need to fix my body. And how do I do that? Fix my food. As an obvious solution, I checked on Google. I do everything on my own. And I found big terms. Keto diet, 12-14 hour fasting, calorie deficit, and I tried them all. I experimented on my body with no routine and it backfired. So finally I went to the expert, nutrition expert, and it worked. 68 kg, all good blood report. So what do you choose? Good food or medicine? So if you want to choose good food, first things first, control your cravings. That's the most difficult thing when it comes to choosing healthy food. The moment you saw that misal pav, you are like, "Bas aaj. Bas aaj. From tomorrow I'll change." Tomorrow came again and tomorrow you are like, "Bas aaj." And tomorrow never came. To this, the expert said, "Vineet, you need to fix your cravings by commanding them, not stopping them." Note the word "not stop." Which means have misal pav, but alternate days. Remaining alternate days have something healthy and tastier, like besan chila, moong dal chila, rajma chaat. A lot of choices which you like in taste, makes you feel full and makes you feel good. From alternate days to twice a week, from twice a week to once a week, and finally stop. Misal pav gone. Second challenge is, especially for my current generation, Swiggy, Zomato. These apps are not designed by UI/UX designer. Full psychology go into these apps to keep you hooked through scrolling and through discounts, so that when you order from these apps, it feels rewarding. You got to delete those apps so that you get a push to cook on your own home food. And guess what? The best part is, when you cook something on your own and have it, it feels much more rewarding than ordering from Swiggy, Zomato. So controlling your cravings, deleting Swiggy, Zomato. With that, I don't mean you don't have snacks at BTMC. Don't do that. You are having it once a week. It's not gonna harm your health. But misal pav, vada pav daily, the choice is yours. Good food or medicine. Over to you.
Well, you can say no to your cravings, but how can you say no to those cute quotes Swiggy and Zomato sends you? Thank you, Toastmaster Veeresh J J. Let's give one more round of applause for that amazing speech. The evaluator for the third speech is someone whose favorite fictional character is Ranchoda Shamandas Chanchal from the periods. He is an experienced Toastmaster and he has been in Toastmaster since 2005. He has achieved his DTMship in Dubai. Professionally, he is a freelance trainer in service excellence and customer ATM Gangaadhar Krishna to read out the guidelines for the speech.
Good evening to all. The speaker today is attempting. The purpose of this project is for the member to reflect on their growth during the completion of an entire path. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspects of their growth during the completion of the path. And for the benefit of the timer, I would like him to note, but everything is not 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note, here the speech is for 10 to 12 minutes. So at 10 you have the green, 11 you have the yellow, and 12 you have the red. Unless the speaker has some other different time to, point out. All the rest of the speaker, back to you.
The last speaker for today is someone who became a father to a baby girl last year. He admires Sherlock Holmes because of his curiosity and attention to detail. He is an entrepreneur and a corporate trainer. He's also serving as Division B Director at District 92. Please welcome Toastmaster Shashank Bhat with his speech titled Growth Begins Where Path Ends. Toastmaster.
When you hear the word leader, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Anyone? Karunakar. Then? Discipline. Okay. Anything else? Any other qualities of a good leader? Commitment. Somebody can influence. Somebody can influence. Discipline, commitment, influence. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, when I stand here today, finishing my path, dynamic leadership path, I am supposed to come here and talk about the reflections of my path, what did I learn, etc. But more than that, what is in it for you because you listen to my speech and my journey. So let us look at my journey since the time I started this path, dynamic leadership. Now, why did I choose this path, leadership? Because as we all know, I was in this committee for 3 years in the club level. Then I moved on to become the area director, and then I moved on to become the division director. However, you would have heard something interesting during my introduction when the Toastmaster of the day introduced. What was the first line she told about me?
Baby girl became a father.
She told he became a father to a baby girl last year. How many of you knew this? Can I see a show of hands? Only 2 to 3 people. Sheep, my fellow area director, Chaitra because she knew some background, and maybe Amrith because I told her. No one knew. Isn't it a happy news to share with someone when you became a father? Indeed. However, the journey was different. I was elected as a division director already. This election happened in the month of May. From July, I was supposed to be the division director. I took my oath. I was ready to lead the district. However, life had a different option for me. So, early July, when I became a father, the only twist that life offered to me was that I could only hold my baby in my arms after 66 days. These 66 days of my leadership journey actually defined who I am, thanks to my supporters and specifically this dynamic leadership path. We say Toastmasters has so many paths, we have 6 paths now, we start a path, we end a path, life goes on. What did we learn from this path? Why did we choose this path and how did we become better compared to yesterday? And that was my biggest learning from this path. My area director here, he did not know till the time the baby came home after 2.5 months. I could have easily told, I am busy, I am going to the hospital, I can't manage, you please manage yourselves. Wouldn't you have done that? The fact that no one knew, but still the work went ahead. No complaints, no issues, smooth as sailing. I think that is where I consider that I justified my position of being a leader even when the term started and it was 2 months down the course. So what were the qualities that I learned, which you can also try implementing in your life? I can relate to this through an example of a bird which is ready to fly. The first stage of a bird is the egg. The baby bird comes out of the shell. It starts looking at the environment and getting adjusted to the environment. So that coming out of the shell is your level 1 of any path. It's coming out of the shell and looking at what's there. The second level which we usually come across is the level where we try to stand on our own feet, get the basics right. The next level comes in where we try to learn new things, like how the baby tries to learn, tries to eat, tries to fly, tries to walk around, the baby bird. Then the 4th and 5th level is when you learn how to fly. Coincidentally, when I started level 1, I did not come out of the shell because I had already finished the presentation mastery path. So I knew how to speak. I was already in a good zone of speaking. But being a leader, I had a lot to learn. Thankfully, life also helped me learning that. But the biggest learning I learned as a leader when I chose this path is the fact that people sometimes can call you and say you speak. As a leader, motivate, impress. What do we do? Ask Steve, he will tell you when he goes to clubs. When we go to clubs and say we have a division director, Shashank, who is here to motivate. Over to division director. What do I tell you? This is where the table topics at Toastmasters comes into picture. What do we tell so that people say, yeah, I think I can learn from that. I think that's a good point which I can take away. This is what was the first and the biggest learning from this path. Impromptu speaking, but also influencing others. So this is one part which I also wanted to implement in my presentation journey path, because when life throws you, puts you in a situation, how do you come out of it? Without being prepared. So this was the first learning which I had. So whenever I went, I did not go with a prepared script because I didn't know if they would call me or no. But the art of talking to people, convincing them and saying, you know what, I can learn this from Shashank. That's a nice point that he mentioned. I think that was the first learning which I had as a leader, and I'm trying to use that whenever I go to other clubs to give speeches as well. The level 3 which we spoke about, level 2 was getting used to the environment and learning new skills. This is what I learned in level 2. Level 3 is where we want to get the basics right and speak with authority. Imagine me standing here as a leader and say, good morning, good evening everyone. As a division director, all of you should do this, should do that, should. Where is the motivation? Will you even listen to me in that case? But leadership is not only about being dominant and authoritative, saying, I am a leader, listen to me. It's a nice balance of being humble as well as authoritative. I saw another leader who was during his speech said, stand here. When you talk like this as a leader, trust me, you will not get that respect. If you want people to listen to you, make sure your presence is felt on stage or off stage, wherever it is, without being or showing that you are dominant. This is what I learned in my level 3. While these badges can elevate you in terms of leadership, in terms of good points in the resume, in terms of good boosting points, but the higher you go in terms of leadership ladder, the humble you should be. This was the second learning technically from my level 3, where life will put you on a pedestal, but don't show that you are the boss. While being authoritative, how do we be humble? This was the biggest learning, and learning for all of us as well. The moment we say you are the boss and you spoke well, I spoke well, your next speech will be a flop. The moment we become overconfident. So this was one quality I learned. Stay grounded, stay humble, even though people say you are the best. The last 2 levels, which is where we learn how to fly, explore more opportunities and make sure you are on the right path. Because coincidentally, when we finish a path, we get a certification of completion saying, congratulations, you have finished dynamic leadership path. How ironic. Reason being, life then tells us, while you have finished the path, your journey, your growth starts now. Because at Toastmasters, when we have paths and pathways, it is a structured program. People are telling us what to do. But the true challenge of a leader and the lessons from a path is not when you have a structured program behind you and say, you know what, do this, do this. Evaluator telling you, yes, you did this well. But when you finish a path, What is that you took away from this path which you will incorporate in your life once your path is completed? While I can proudly stand here and say I finished my second part today, but the real journey begins today. That is why the Toastmaster specifically mentioned growth begins when the path ends. My dynamic leadership path will end today. However, the real quality of a leader and what I learned over the last few months when I chose this path, the actual journey begins from today. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, while we are so structured in our approach, projects, speeches, we have mentors, but the moment we finish the path or we go out of this Toastmasters meeting, we may not get the support which we get at a club like this. We may not get constructive feedback. We may not say, you know what, you did really well, however you could have done this. No, you did not do well. That's the type of feedback we may get beyond Toastmasters. So that is when our learnings as a leader, what did we learn and how do we incorporate? Once we finish the path, the real journey begins there when there is no one to guide us. Because leadership is not only about leading others. It's I am the leader, you listen to me. Because at the end of the day, it is about me learning from myself and my past and my mistakes. And as we say, Toastmasters is the best platform for us to make mistakes. Commit the mistakes here. Take up the challenge on stage. Volunteer for table topics even if you are not interested. Book a speech slot even if you are not ready. Because the moment you are put on spot here, we make mistakes. Convert these mistakes to lessons later. Because tomorrow when we don't have any such facilities where we get constructive feedback, no mentorship, no path and project to guide us and tell us what to do. These learnings at the club level, the mistakes that we do at the club level will be the biggest learning which we can incorporate, which life can't teach us. So while you are at it, while you are still giving your paths, projects, enjoy the journey. Have fun. Don't look at it, oh next project, this is the review. No. While you come here, enjoy the journey. Be happy. Learn from each other. Commit mistakes. Learn from the mistakes. Then you will see that you will never repeat the mistakes in your life. My intention of this path is simple. The moment I finish this path, have I become better than yesterday? Have I become better than the previous level? Have I become better than the previous speech? That is the intention all of us should continue with, because life can throw us 100 lemons. I didn't expect the moment I took up the role of division director, this happens in my life. I still overcame it and that made me stronger. Because as they say, what can't kill you only can make you stronger. So when you are put on stage here, never feel scared. Because the moment we say, I can't do this, you can never do it in your life. The moment you step on the stage today, when Karunakar will give you topics next, come as if I am already the boss. And see the mindset change in you, you can speak comfortably and clearly. Enjoy the stage, enjoy the journey, learn from these lessons, implement it, because once you finish a path, you will become your own leader.
The reason we give a standing ovation, Toastmaster Shashank has completed the path. So when we start to speak the icebreaker speech and we complete the level or we complete the path, we give the standing ovation. Thank you, Toastmaster Shashank, for that inspiring speech. You mentioned that as we are going up in the leadership ladder, we should become more humble. That was a great takeaway. Let's give one more round of applause to Toastmaster Shashank. The links for voting have been shared in the group, and the password for that is 2627. 5-minute break. So we have water towards the right and washrooms are towards, if you walk out, towards the right. So we'll come back after 5 minutes, take this time to network and we'll be back in 5 minutes. The second half of Okay, the next section is going to be a very fun and engaging section, and even the guests can take part. So, for leading the next section, which is the table topic section, we have someone who is very fun and brilliant. He works as a tax technology solutions manager, and he believes life is not a rat race, so we need to have an elegant hustle. His favorite fictional character is John Rambo for his resilience and self-belief. Please welcome the table topic master of today, Toastmaster Karunakar Dev.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today's topics are very easy to understand.
That's a humorous.
Very easy to understand. Now, and to give you a trick, it revolves around sustainability, nature, ecology, so that you can have some idea about the kind of topics I'm going to give you. The first topic is, and by the way, today's table topic also calls for a bit excessive usage for body language and vocal variety, so you can use them plenty. The first topic for today is, you wake up as a river that is slowly drying up. You wake up as a river that is slowly drying up. Convince humans to save you. Convince humans to save you. Toastmaster Abhinava. Can we have the on the stage? We have the country.
Now, this is the topic that you can expect when Karunakar comes in, going in the right direction but taking a wrong turn. And okay, if I was a river that was slowly drying up, what would I do to convince humans? There is really absolutely nothing that anybody can do, or even God in fact, to convince humans that we are wasting resources. And the best thing about water is that whatever you put in it, it becomes that shape, or it takes that color, or it takes that taste. And so whatever humans are really dumping into the water, be it some chemicals or feces or industrial waste or absolutely anything, and that is the water we are all getting to really drink. And I remember this situation, especially when during that Mahakumbh, people supposedly went in the middle of the river and drank a lot of water, and when that water was tested, you know what was there. So like any river, like any water body, like any natural resource on earth, I think the best thing that it can tell us is its own state. But for that, we have to always listen. And time was giving me the red card, so please listen to your rivers and stop them from drying up.
Such a fluid speaker speaks with an every topic. Moving on, the next topic is, you are Earth giving a final warning speech to humanity. You are Earth giving a final warning speech to humanity. Goes on to the speaker, Divya. Put your hands up for everybody.
there are so many instances that we get a lot of signals, but how many times do we actually follow a signal is something that we can obviously explore. And if there was a long speech that is expected to be delivered during a butterfly speech, nah, I think that does not fit in well, of course. At the same time, when there's a warning, especially in terms of the war that is happening, especially in terms of how many acts we are doing in terms of sustainability, right? So these are already calls that we are definitely getting, but who's actually listening? There are a lot of people who will give you talks about doing so many things, but it is a collective effort for all of us to put in that. I think with regard to the butterfly speech, I am trying my level best to connect the dots. But at the same time, I would like to give out the message that it's easier said than done. But it's up to us on how we want to take the action. I am trying to take action as well during this butterfly speech. I think the better way that I did start about delivering any message to people is that I myself implemented. So my first thing that I'm going to be doing is planting trees. So that's something I'm going to go ahead.
Okay, you are a farmer facing climate change. Convince policymakers to support you. You are a farmer facing climate change. Convince policymakers to support you. Toastmaster, Tirumalesh. Put your hands up for him.
I am a farmer and I have to convince the policy that, sorry, what is it?
To support policymakers to support you.
Support me, okay. Yeah, nowadays if you see because of all this, global warming, all those things, we are not getting proper rain, all those things. So I will, propose a solution to the government, for example, we can take this person, right, she has grown a lot of trees, around 3,000 trees she has grown. So I can give that kind of examples to the government instead of just cutting all the trees and instead of just expanding the cities, just concentrate on what is that? Planting the trees, all those things, so that proper rain will come, so that farmers will get the benefit out of their whatever they grow. So like this, I can try to convince the government, but government is very blind. They are looking into expanding the city or something like that, just cutting down the trees. We are not getting any rain as such, but maybe this is how I will try to convince the government.
Okay, you are the last tree in a deforested city. You are the last tree in a deforested city. What do you say to the people passing by? What do you say to the people passing by? Goes to Toastmasters Suraj. Come on,
I'm the last tree in a deforested area, and what will I say to the people passing by around that tree? So, the tree provides a lot of natural resources as well as oxygen, and helps in recycling the carbon dioxide, plays a major role in water cycle. So the main message that I would first give is, would you cut me for the need of your benefits for building your aircraft or building your vessels for the wars, or do you want to use me to improve yourself and the future humanity? And the humans are smart enough to decide that they can choose if they want humanity or if they want to go towards warfare and want to improve their economic relations. And not caring about humanity, and eventually the humanity will fall down. This is how I will convince the humans to take the right direction.
Thank you. Moving on to the next one. Now on the area topic, right? So you can read easy. Should development ever come at the cost of nature? Should development ever come at the cost of nature? Toastmaster Chandra Shekhar. Put your hands up for the speaker.
Thanks so much, Karunakar, for such a nice topic because very close to my heart. Should development come at the cost of nature? I think definitely not. I think tomorrow, day after, as the sun scorches, we all are going to say, hey, what is it? It's so hot. But have you ever thought, what have we done? Have we at least tried to plant a tree or donate something for the plantation of trees? No. Come rain, we're going to say Uttarakhand, there's flood everywhere. Okay, we are all doing this, but not seeing what we can do. We will criticize the government, criticize someone, everything, but we are never seeing what we can do. Unfortunately, in a few days' time, I think already the temperature is rising. Tomorrow it will rise more when the archery matches will be going on. But I think it's time to look at within ourselves and see, are we doing the right thing? Or in case development is required, can we do something else? Because for the trees, they try to do the, translocation, but those trees don't last. But I think at least find some way, in case we have to do it, we have to cut some trees for some project, have to do it, we have to find some alternative, at least to compensate or make the environment better. Thank you.
One habit you would ban to save the environment. One habit you would ban to save the environment. Toastmaster Richard D'Souza. Put your hand up, please, everybody.
Diplomat master, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. One habit which I want to ban is production of smoke. Hydrogen or whatever it may be, right, really affects the nature, and that's why more gas, ujwala or whatever it may be, was emphasized to be used instead of burning the charcoal. And we know coal is being imported from other countries for various uses, and coal creates the smoke, which also affects the nature. And we know if we have a neighbor who is using what's called this fuel of trees, we really unable to breathe. That's why what is required is the generation of smoke for the purpose, different purposes, should be totally banned, not only of charcoal, coal, or from wood, to ensure that people, they breathe easily. There is a requirement of banning the smoke. Over to you. Thank you.
This one is interesting. Play the role of a plastic bottle apologizing to the ocean. Play the role of a plastic bottle apologizing to the ocean. Toastmaster Vineet J J. Put your hand up, everybody.
I am a plastic bottle in the ocean and the river, and I am not at all apologetic in any manner. I feed the fish, I feed the the entire ecosystem that is there in the water bodies and the entire ocean. It's absolutely fine. As I feed them, that slowly that element gets transported into you as microplastics into all humans. So at some point of time, I feel there is no good intentions don't work, good mechanisms work. This is the only way to accelerate that nature takes its own course. Okay, humans get affected. We all get, all you humans should get affected with microplastics, which results in really problematic presence for you. And you do not have anything to eat, everything. So it will hasten the end of the earth. What is the end of the earth? The whole thing starts all over again. So the entire civilization, everything starts all over again. The nature will correct itself. We have reached a point where the nature should take a correction itself. And so let us hasten the process for the nature to correct instead of waiting for it painfully. So plastic, I am no way apologetic of being in the water bodies. I'll make it even more miserable for you.
The next one. Play a mountain being destroyed for mining. Defend your existence. Play a mountain being destroyed for mining. Defend your existence. Toastmaster Vijay Anil. Put a hand up for his.
Well, all of us have heard we have plan A, and many of us heard of plan B. But there is no planet B. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster guests, mountains, we just think of those beautiful towering gifts by the universe, right? What purpose they serve? A lot. Mountains, if we don't have mountains, let's take India, southwest, monsoon coming in, 1st of June, just about 2 months from now. Without those mountains, the western coast of India will not get its rains, Western Ghats. And if you don't get rains, you people are so enamored by your mobiles, your cars, ladies, girls in the house, your jewelry and all that stuff. You cannot have any of that without water to drink. Food, how do you get your food? Thanks to those lovely mountains. Those mountains, if you stop the southwest mountain entering, you get rains. And not only that, the food that you eat, the water drink, the clothes that you wear, everything depends on that. So think of it, friends. You want, talk about your fancy holidays, Instagram, kilogram, that gram, this gram. You will not have 1 gram of flesh on your body if not for those mountains. Right now, I appeal to each one of you to please preserve the mountains. Right now, the world, because of the war in West Asia, we're experiencing crude shock. Because of crude, right? Less supply. But it will be a rude shock for you if the mountains are not there. Right now, please stop and let me live. Back to the topic.
Okay, for the next set of speaker, the time duration is 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. So you just have to be quick. You are a drop of clean water in a polluted lake. Tell your story. You are a drop of pure water in a polluted lake. Tell your story. Toastmaster Shield. Come on, put your hands up for Shield. Come on, everybody.
I feel so proud because in a polluted pond, you are the only pure drop. How special that is, right? Yes. Yeah, thank you for that wonderful topic. See, what a drop is a part of the ocean, but still, if a drop falls on a hot metal, it just vaporizes. You don't see the drop, right? And if the drop falls on a leaf, it turns into a kind of a pebble. You can even see the sunlight coming and making that glow. And if a drop falls on the ocean, it becomes the ocean. So as a drop, what I want to tell you is, you may be a drop, but where you fall makes all the difference in life. Your environment. There's a saying that, show me your 5 friends, I will tell you who you are. So choosing the right environment is the most important. You may be the purest of drop, but an entire pond just diminishes your value. So choose the right environment.
You are a solar panel convincing people to choose you. You are a solar panel convincing people to choose you. Toastmaster Rashi. You are a solar panel convincing people to choose you.
I was caught a little off guard. I am a solar panel and I need to convince you, like, is there enough convincing needed? Aren't you hearing a lot about it on media and why and how I should be there? I don't want to get into the benefits, but maybe you should just keep me so that it helps you in the long run. Your cost is cut out and you'll be able to live richer and happier. And I don't know, like, I'm not really in the concept of it, but maybe you should keep solar panels so that in the future, whatever troubles are there, like how now we have LPG prices, in the future if there are any other crises, you will be saved by it because you'll have solar panels. A lot of people don't have inductions now and they're suffering, they're buying it at double the cost. So might as well get it now, save your time, save your energy, save your money.
So wise word from Russia there. Now comes this topic. Is convenience the biggest enemy of sustainability? Is convenience the biggest enemy of sustainability, Toastmaster Chaitra? What do you think? Put your hands up for all this, everyone.
I completely agree with the topic that convenience is the biggest enemy of sustainability. Now, nature has seen us evolve and grow, and if there's one thing that nature has seen us do, it is ignore all the long-term benefits and focus on what makes you happy in the short term, right? We evolved from, our prehistoric monkey state, and in a sense, we are still primates focusing on the shiny and the easiest path forward, right? So when you have something very difficult to do and you can put it off, you can avoid it, what do humans do? We ignore it, we try to set it aside and just do whatever gives us a little bit of gratification in the short term. So yes, why do we use things like single-use plastics, even though it's bad for us? Why do we put off mitigating our carbon, the effects of our carbon footprint? Why do we keep wasting water? Because it's too inconvenient. If it was convenient, we would get it done in maybe half a second.
Is individual action enough to fight climate change? Is individual action enough to fight climate change? Toastmaster Amisha. Put your hand up for her.
While individual action might not be enough, it is the start to, a bigger goal. Because
when one person starts, he encourages others around him or her to do the same. There's the saying that to lead, you need to first do. So in order to be able to inspire others and to build a community around what you believe, you need to first do it, even if it means doing it individually, doing it all alone. When you take a step alone and inspire others is when people join in. And I would like to, cite an example from our very own South India, Timaka. She was an old lady, had no children, but she started watering the trees around her day in and day out. And what did that lead to? The locals around her followed. They started doing the same. They led by example. And so do all of us, right? When we see others doing something nice, we start doing it. But for us to start doing it, there has to be that one person, that individual who takes lead. So I believe all of us could be that one individual who brings that change.
Okay, the last topic that I have for today, why should the future generation trust us with this planet? Why should the future generation trust us with this planet? Toastmaster Mahavir, tell us why.
Well, the future generation wouldn't trust us. I'll tell you 5 reasons why they won't trust us. 1.5 minutes. First is, we all just want more. Right? We're never happy. We eat one meal is 1 or 2 meals is enough in a day, right? But we want to eat 5 meals. so we are. Secondly, pollution. Like, if you guys travel in the auto, or you just stand here in MG Road, or anywhere in India, especially in the cities, like, at least me, I can't breathe properly. I feel like there's too much carbon dioxide going in. So in future, for my baby and my baby's baby, they'll be like, the air is not good anymore. Third reason, growth. Everybody desires to do something big. Every individual wants to set up industry. Now the IT services industry is being, because of AI. So we want to do something or the other. So we are again using the planet not in the best way. So the other 2 reasons I will tell you when you meet me personally. So I will tell you, our future generation, we have to make them happy. So let's do our best. Over to you.
Wow, an amazing participation. We had some great initiatives and feedback from the members. I hope we all strive to follow that towards the greener tomorrow. Over the Toastmaster Day. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karunakar, for those amazing topics and what a theme, sustainability, which is the need of the hour. Let's once again give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Karunakar. Long time ago, there was an old man who had 4 sons, and these 4 sons got married to beautiful women, and they all started living happily together. One day, they were fighting against each other for distribution of work. So one person wanted to cook, the other person said, no, I want to cook. The other person said, you go and do dusting. So there were so many fights happening. So these sons went to this father and they said, see, our wives are fighting, what should we do? So this man, he called all the 4 daughter-in-laws and he handed 1 bag of rice, grains to each of them. And then he said, you can keep it or you can do whatever you want. I will, and then they went. After 1 month, he called all of them and asked, what have you done with that grain of rice? So the first daughter-in-law, she said, I cooked rice, pudding with that, and I made it for you guys. So he said, okay, now you will be in charge of the kitchen. You will handle all the cooking things. The second daughter-in-law, he asked her, what did you do? And she said, I threw it because I thought it was not important. So he said, now onwards, you will be the ones who will be handling all the cleaning and dusting things. The third daughter-in-law, she said, I thought because you gave me, it must be very precious, so I've kept it inside the locker. So she was handed over the treasury department. So now you'll be handling all the finance and treasury things. The fourth daughter-in-law, she said, okay, what I did was I went to the agricultural farm and I sowed it so that it would grow. So she was given the agricultural farm. So the point being, sometimes we are not able to know ourselves. The thing being, you have to know yourself and lead yourself. But sometimes we need others' help to understand what we are good at and what our flaws are so that we can improve upon that. The next session is doing exactly the same, which is the evaluation session. To lead the evaluation session, we have someone who is tough as well as cool, who is an avid reader as well as a fitness enthusiast. His favorite fictional character is Shaktiman because he thinks Shaktiman always does right even when it's difficult. Please put your hands together to welcome the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vishal.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Madam President, I have a question. Are we in a library or something? Can you answer the question? No, we are not. Then why are the voices so low? Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. Great. Now that the energy is at the highest, I would like to dive right into my evaluation, but there are 3 champions that are waiting to have their breakfast as dinner. And for them, their dinner is going to be feedback. So let's directly jump in to the evaluation of the prepared speeches, and I will withhold my evaluation of the entire meeting until that is done. Now, to evaluate the first speaker, we have the first evaluator, Toastmaster Nitish. Toastmaster Nitish, please join the
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Good evening. Good evening, Toastmaster Harish in particular. First of all, Toastmaster Harish, congratulations on taking the first step and delivering your first icebreaker. Today you have taken us through the journey of your life. You have shown how you have transformed in your life, you have evolved, you have come out of your comfort zone. You have actually aligned your speech with the theme of today, knowing yourself and leading yourself. During the speech, you have told us about, you have taken us through the personal anecdotes with a subtle amount of humor. And I must say, few weeks back in a speech, in a bit of a speech, you said, my target is to beat the record of DTM Vijayan in terms of accolades. And I must say that you are on the right path. Now, few areas where I would like you to work upon. If you take this feedback and incorporate in your speech, it is going to take your speech to the next level. First thing is the voice projection. There were part of the speech where I was not able to understand what you were saying. Along with that, so what I will really request you to work on your voice projection, maybe go up a little bit in the pitch and also add pauses wherever it is required. If you improve your voice a little bit and add enough pauses, it will be more effective, and also the pauses gives an audience chance to grasp what you have just
said. So this in way it becomes more effective for you. Overall, your speech was strong, and it was a strong, honest and inspiring icebreaker. And you have taken the first step, and I congratulate you and say you all the best for your future speeches. If you just take the feedback and keep working on it, you will be there. Definitely you are going to be the record of Vineet J J. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitish, for that great evaluation. Now, instead of evaluating the speaker yet again, let me evaluate the first evaluator, and a few suggestions that I would have is whenever you're evaluating someone, give examples of what they did well as well. The reason I say this is the evaluations are not just for the speaker, but for the rest of the audience as well. So when you highlight what they did well, it's something that the rest of the audience can note down and say, hey, I can do that in my speech later on. And you can be very specific as well about this. And the second thing is, Nitish, you gave a wonderful evaluation. I'm sure that Harish is going to go back home flying. But there's one thing that could have sent him to the moon itself, and that is a smile. So if you could have just worn a smile, I think that would have improved your evaluation a little more. But apart from that, you did a great job. Now let's go to the evaluator or the second speaker, which is going to be Toastmaster Veeresh. Can we have Toastmaster Veeresh?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and in particular, my target speaker, Vineet. Vineet, your speech had a clear purpose, which is the heart of the project 2 at level 1. So I'd like to congratulate you firstly for meeting the objectives of your project. I have few commendations about the speech that you gave. Firstly, you started off with a very good anecdote where you mentioned that you were living a busy life in Mumbai, you had to take a metro, which made me happy, and then you went out to deliver food after food on Zomato apps, ordering thalis and going for tea, coffee every now and then. So the anecdote was very relatable to the audience and also to me. Examples of misal pav, vada pav and all these things made my water mouth. But then you helped me discern. But then you helped us discern what is good food and what is bad food. You engaged throughout with all those examples. The second commendation that I would like to give you is you made good use of gestures. When you told us, bus aaj for every time that you wanted an excuse while you were ordering the snacks or junk food. Those gestures actually left us with an indelible remark about you. The third thing that you really did well was you gave us a lot of takeaways. When you mentioned you need to control your cravings, you also told us how to overcome those challenges, right? And when you told us about Zomato apps, you also told that we need to cook the food and then eat. Now quickly coming to recommendations. First thing, Vineet, is you had a lot of unnecessary movements. While you were speaking, you were pacing. So I would recommend you to avoid that unnecessary movements and have purposeful movement. Second recommendation I would like to give you is, throughout your speech you had good humor, you had good facts, you backed up with a lot of substantiation and suggestions. But if you can add a bit of emotion, that emotion and the logic part of your speech is going to be a powerful combination in order to persuade the people. After your speech, I don't know whether I'm going to miss the misal pav, or I don't know whether it will be void without the vada pavs. But definitely, Vineet, after your speech, I am going to try to win over my cravings. Congratulations to you, and looking forward to hear more speeches from you.
Thank you, Veeresh, for that evaluation. You were not vicious, rather you made the speaker feel victorious. However, if I had to nitpick again, Srinivas says it's my job to nitpick. Maybe give examples for the suggestion points. Now, when you said that he was pacing too much on stage, maybe if you could say what he could have done differently, given an example that could have helped him a little more. Now, apart from that, I think you did a great job. Can we have another round of applause for Toastmaster Veeresh? We go to the evaluation of the third speaker, and the evaluator for the third speaker is going to be Distinguished Toastmaster Gangaadhar Krishna, and can I please invite him on stage?
The G last time said that I'm shaking hands sometimes, not always. That's when we go back to old habits. Good evening to all Toastmasters, guests, and my talent speaker, Shashank. Congratulations to you. Today we have an icebreaker and a pathbreaker. And they're both on two different contrasts. For people who have been here, they know what an icebreaker would be and what would be a pathbreaker. Splendid job, I should say. But what impresses me always with any speech is how you come on stage. Is how well dressed is a person, how prepared is he, that shows part of it. It might be a physical attribute, but it's a very important part when you come well dressed on stage. So that's the first thing I liked. And your speech, though you gave your path and your how it went through, it had a message for the audience, which is very clear, and you put it very clear to you that that's going to be the intention. That's what I want to share with you all, which is well done again. You started with the personal story, and that resonated with how you started off with the leadership thing in spite of challenges in your hand. Took us very well through the various levels, I think 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so to say. And you had a message at the various levels, like the authoritative or how you should be taking the leadership thing and working ahead. Having said that, it was a great speech, it was motivational, it was probably, you're sharing a message with all the audience of what should be done when you're trying to learn from it and how your path stops and then your growth comes in. That's very well done, I thought. But having said that, I felt, you use voice modulation very well. At the time of the balance between being humble and authoritative. You were trying to use body language and trying to talk softly and also in an authoritative manner. What I would have loved and expected would be when you're talking about your child holding him or her after 66 days, on purpose, take it into a low volume. Take it into a slower pace. You don't take it emotionally. Just do that much. It automatically changes the blend of what you're trying to say. It could have helped, I felt. Then, to make this even better, what I felt was, most of the time, you were here, pacing, right through. I felt that if you were starting from your second, level 2 and level 3 and level 4 kind of things, it could have, because you've come to the pathbreaker, so you've done that many speeches there. So, over a period of time, you could have used the stage in a better manner, what I felt. And you're pacing more left and right, I felt, and you're talking very fast. It's a personal thought. Maybe you watched the video, I don't know how it is, it was going so fast that sometimes when you slow down, it gets in, the message gets in, it has a stronger effect. Like when you talk with a low volume. But otherwise, you did a great thing, a great speech, and you came with a very lovely part in this. What can't kill you will only make you stronger. I wish you all the best for your next path, growth, and success. Back to you.
Krishna, I think I agree with you, old habits die hard. But one habit that you have not lost is a habit of coming on stage and giving such a flawless evaluation that I have been left speechless. Can we have another loud round of applause? Now, the reason I delayed my evaluation of the rest of the meeting is because I think everyone did such a fantabulous job that I could not discern mistakes from scripted props of the speech to make people laugh. So I got on call with Srinivas during the break and I said, look Srinivas, I think we're going to end the meeting early. I don't think I can evaluate anyone. Everyone's doing a fantabulous job, great job. And he said, Vishal, I'm sorry, you can't do that. It is your job to nitpick. So if you find my suggestions not to your liking, you know who to call. Not me, him. So, jokes aside, let's begin with the evaluation of today's meeting. We started off the meeting on time, exactly at 6:30, and the Sergeant at Arms took the stage and mustered up so much energy in all of us that I was surprised that I was in a BTMC meeting. I thought I was in some NCC parade or something. I think he had a wonderful way of putting the 3 rules. He introduced the president in a well thought out manner. However, again, Srinivas is sitting on my shoulder asking me to nitpick. So if I had to nitpick Toastmaster Imtiaz, I would say during the tail end of your speech when you were introducing the very eloquent Madam President, you could have been a little bit clearer. With the adding less oil to fried food, that I felt was not clear enough, maybe a little more rehearsal. But apart from that, again, I'm nitpicking here because of Srinivas. Coming to the next person who took the stage, it was our secretary, Toastmaster Abhinava. Now, Toastmaster Abhinava, you had great energy, you delivered the minutes of the meeting. Honestly, I don't think there were any mistakes. However, I had one suggestion. You gave your team's name and the name of the team that won the second round. But what about the other 2 teams? All I'm saying is maybe you could have mentioned all the teams and then mentioned which team won and which team didn't win. Because you only mentioned the ones that won. And I was in the losing team. little bit personal.
That's why I mentioned the winning team.
Alright. I'll take care of that later. Now, coming to the next person on stage, our Madam President. Honestly, I think you had a great start to your speech. You not only gave the audience a good story, but you gave us something that we could take home. What are the things that change in you once you do Vipassana? What are the 2 things? Does anyone remember? Okay, if anyone remembers, please, can I hear it?
Silence. Once your breath, your breathing, and the technique she said was FID. Frequency, density, and duration.
Exactly. So, you gave people something to take home, not just a little motivational speech that we will forget in honestly by the end of the meeting. So great job done, and I think today your Vipassana skills were tested on the stage when Toastmaster Jewel decided to come in a little late. I think it was scripted, even if you say it wasn't Toastmaster Jewel, just to prove our president's mettle in this aspect. So honestly, I have no notes. You did a great job. Next person on stage was the acting Toastmaster of the day for maybe 2 minutes, Toastmaster Rashi. And I think you have discerned yourself from the rest of the crowd by just saying, I don't care what happens, I don't care if I'm not prepared, but I will go on stage and I will somehow make it work. And for that, I think she deserves a loud round of applause. Now again, again, since Srinivas has requested that I did it, I felt Toastmaster Rashi, you could have handed over the stage to Toastmaster Jewel a little better, because I felt that there was some awkwardness, and you could have greased this by saying that I'm on stage here today. When I joined Toastmasters, I didn't think that I could even speak, and I'm coming here impromptu. And when you saw Jewel, you could have said, now fate has said that I have already become this good, and it's time to make way for those who want to get just as good as me, and then conceded the stage to Toastmaster Jewel, just to reduce that little friction. Now, next came our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Jewel, I think you did a fantastic job. The things that I felt you did great was you had wonderful stories, wonderful introductions, but the one thing that I think was particularly done well is the format in which you introduced the speaker. First, you gave that introduction, and then there was the title of the speech, and only then did you reveal the name of the speaker. Now, the reason I say that this is important is because when you tell the name of the speaker, it's a cue for the audience to start clapping. What I've seen is sometimes you tell the name of the speaker and then tell the title, and the title is lost in the roaring applause. So you did that very, very, very well. A loud round of applause for Toastmaster Jewel. I wanted to move on, but Srinivas again is in my ear. So, Toastmaster Jewel, the things that I felt that you could have done a little bit better is when you immediately took the stage from Rashi, I think your start was a little bit too fast. I know it had been a while since there was a bit of a time discrepancy and you came in late. However, it's fine. The audience doesn't know that it wasn't scripted. You could have just made up something, or you could have just gone on your very good way. So don't worry about it. Just go at the pace that you want to go at. You don't have to rush anything for anything. The second thing is, I felt that the energy today was a little light. So maybe if you could have used a mic and increased your volume, I think you would have done a great job. And when you ask the audience a question, let them answer. I am referring to the time that you asked the audience, do you know who this person is, when you introduced Ralph C. Smetty. And you answered the question before anyone else had a chance. So just give them some time and they'll answer it for you. Apart from that, I think Joel, you did a fantastic job. Can we have another round of applause for those Joel? Next came the table topic master. And thank God I was a general evaluator, because even though it was a daunting task, I felt it would have been easier. It has been easier than taking the table topic session. Having said that, I think you made everyone feel comfortable on stage. Okay? There you are. I feel that is the most important thing for a table topic master. The topics may be about the deepest philosophical questions, but as long as your presence on stage is calming, anyone can speak about anything. And I think you did that very, very well. However, again, she was, not me. If I had to nitpick, Toastmaster Karunakar, I felt the topics were a little too long. It was not just one long sentence, it was sometimes two long sentences. And it can be a bit challenging for someone to understand that, come here, talk on stage. So, shorten it a little bit, make it short and sweet, You look like a rather romantic guy, so I'm sure you're aware about the KISS principle. Keep it short and simple. So I say that all of that. That brings me to the end of my general evaluation, and if you have any notes, you can share it with Toastmaster Srinivas. We have 3 people who we are yet to hear from, and let me call upon the first person, the timer for today, Toastmaster Naveen. Have a Big round of applause for Toastmaster Naveen.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I am the timer of the day, and I observed that all the speakers delivered their speech very well today and completed within the allotted time. So most of them have allotted time, so I do not have to go in details. But still, I have another job I would like to explain. The meeting started exactly at 6:30. President TM Amrith speech was 8 minutes 34 minutes. Abhinava Shastry was about 1 minute 30 seconds. TMOD Jewel, her speeches were in 2-3 breaks, so I have counted only the first one. She took around 8 minutes 59 seconds. Then prepared speeches. TM Harish took 6 minutes 8 seconds. Vineet took 5 minutes 45 seconds. And TM Shashank took 11 minutes 46 seconds. Evaluator, TM Nitish took 2 minutes 9 seconds. Veeresh 3 minutes 8 seconds. And DTM Mr. Gangaadhar took 3 minutes 42 seconds. I think to evaluate 12 minutes speech, I think 3 minutes is very less. I felt it should be more. So I feel it is not a bigger one. And in the table topic session, almost everybody completed within 1 minute 30 seconds. Thank you.
Now we have a person who will tell us if our speeches were symphonies of oohs from the audience or cacophonies of our own ahs and ums. Can we have the counter Toastmaster Srinidhi? A loud round of applause, please.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
Okay, so as I mentioned, it was my very first time to sit and evaluate. As I started to do it, it struck my mind what is the most easiest and the difficult thing to sit in a very first row and evaluate. So looking at the most difficult part is, or rather the most easiest part is to sit there and judge the speakers, right? And the most difficult part, which I'll be facing it very soon, is to realize for myself on like how we are supposed to come and speak. Having said that, with the speakers, Toastmaster Shashank was very seamless with his flow, and I can see that like his very discerned about himself, right? So his objectives are very discerned, and his speech was very seamless. So I would like to give a round of applause, and I want all of you to join to give a round of applause. And there was in fact, no fillers used or the crutch words like or so or pause. And going forward with the next speaker, PM Vineet as well. Just with a couple of them, like using repeated verbs like that, like or for was used a couple of times, but he did a really great job. Coming to the TT, that is the table topics, Toastmaster Vijay, Toastmaster Amisha, and Toastmaster Vivek had absolute zero fillers. Absolute zero fillers, and I would like to all of you to give a round of applause for that. And areas to improve for the table topics, Toastmaster Tirumalesh and Toastmaster Rashi had a couple of fillers. Words like so that, right, you need to was used a couple of times, like more than 6 to 8 times, but they were able to carry out themselves much better with the presence on the stage. And with the speaker, Toastmaster Pratish, again had fillers like and so more than 15 to 20 times, but as mentioned, it is difficult to realize when we come and speak in front of the audience, but I want you to consider this, and my reports was on a positive note. Thank you so much.
I'll get you, sir. Loud round of applause for now, to solve the murder on the Grammar Express, we have Toastmaster Alan. Loud round of applause,
I wanted to start with a bang, but it's a good meeting when the good usages outweigh the not so good usages. So coming to the good usages, we had terms like a volcano waiting to erupt, steadily subside, thrive, life will put you on a pedestal, growth begins when the path ends, what can't kill you makes you stronger, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are, gratification, mitigating, indelible, authoritative, old habits die hard, fantabulous, mustered up. Here are a few not so good usages and how it could have been better. Take my shout should have been given the context I couldn't shout. 1 rupees should have been 1 rupee. Go my hometown should have been go to my hometown. Tried to journalism should have been tried my hand at journalism. Lifestyle became. Towards the greener tomorrow should have been towards a greener tomorrow. I want to say you should have been I would like to tell you given the context. And ordering food after food should have been ordering food endlessly. The word of the day was used by Amrith, Veeresh, Vishal and Srinidhi. If Jewel has extra chocolate, she will give it to you when the snacks are served. Thank you so much. Back to the
forget about the murder on the Grammar Express. You're murdering her chocolates up there. Now that brings us to the end of the evaluation session. Ladies and gentlemen, members particularly, the link for the Best Role Taker Award, Best Tag Team and Best Evaluator is shared with the group, and the passcode remains the same, 2627. Now, while you vote, let me just take a quick moment to evaluate the committee that did a fantastic job today. I came here at 5:30 and I thought I will give a shock to the Sergeant at Arms, but I was the one who was shocked. He was already here well before 5:30 setting everything up, and by 6 o'clock I think everything was ready. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Imtiaz. Can I have a loud round of applause, please? Smash your phones between your hands while you vote. Now, the second thing I would like to applaud for is the president who was giving notes to all the members who are taking up their roles for the first time. And I think that's a great initiative that it's make sure that we are not just dropping someone off the deep end and hoping that they know how to swim. The only suggestion that I would have is timing. I think we are well past the 8:30 mark, and regardless of my efforts to keep it short, it has been a bit tough. So I think today was an exception, but let's make sure that the role takers are briefed that they cannot go over their time limit, and there needs to be some penalty or something to make sure that they don't. Now, having said that, I think the committee is doing a fantastic job. Can we have a loud round of applause for them again?
applause.
Let's give one more round of applause. Thank you so much, everyone, for this being a wonderful audience. It was a pleasure hosting this. I have some news to share. That is, next month I'm moving to Pune. So this is literally my last meeting. I'm going to miss this club a lot, and also I'm so grateful for everyone who has been part of my journey. And I wish to come back to Bangalore very soon. But yeah, let's see. But thank you, everyone. Over to the president.
Right, once again, a big round of applause for all the role takers and speakers. Now, thank you, Joel, for taking up the role on your last day here in Bangalore, and she is moving out of Bangalore, as she said. We wish her a lot of luck, and we wish that you come back to the club very soon. Let's have a big round of applause for Joel. Now, I'm not sure if some of you have noticed, but we have a new banner on our stage. It's slightly colorful, if those who can't see, right? So there is an award called Aid to Elevate by the district, which means that we are supposed to add 8 new members during the first 3 months. And we have added 12 new members. So big round of applause to our weekly membership Toastmaster Krishna. Not just adding new members, he's tirelessly working to get speech crafters. We already have finished one batch with 32 members, and we are planning to get another 30 for the next batch. So thank you for that. And this is the time for the renewals, as you all know. My humble request to most of the people have already renewed, just very few are left. Although we would be reaching out to all of you, but in case that extra work, if you want us to relax over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and not start calling, then please renew and send your confirmations to our treasurer, Toastmaster Shivani. With that, we have come to the end of the meeting, and we will go ahead with the awards. For the best auxiliary role, we have none other than our grammarian Toastmaster Arana. For role takers, we have a tie today, and I would like to invite both of them, Toastmaster Vishal and Toastmaster Karunakar. Evaluator Award goes to our distinguished Toastmaster Gangaadhar Krishna. Alright. Sometimes we get surprised by the new members. For best table topic, we have Toastmaster Amisha Nahar. Let's give her a big round. for Best Speaker Award, we have the Pathbreaker Toastmaster Shashank Bhat. I adjourn meeting number 1520. Thank you everyone. For the guests, please take your snacks and meet Toastmaster Balakrishna on site. And the winners, please come on stage for a picture.